FPX in a finals event, in a match point scenario. Doinb looked stylish the last time we see it, so it's nice to be able to see it, piggybacking off that same confidence.
You're going up against the Neeko in the mid lane here from XiaoHu. Now for RNG, when their backs up are against the wall, you see the team fighting coming through strong once again.
Yep, a lot of AoE crowd control on their own side. If they ever catch FPX in a dive in even numbers, they have the tools to just completely wipe them underneath the team fight. They will not let them leave the tower that they dove under. On FPX's side, I think they're looking for a strong bot lane, very reminiscent to what was drafted in Game 1.
And if I'm just going to look at one pick, for me, it's the Mordekaiser.
After the last game, the way it ended, gentlemen, something to behold, and I think something that has just brought us into a fresh start and a way to reset in Game 4.
Take a look at the keystones here right from the get-go. It's actually Phase Rush coming in from XiaoHu. Not seeing that. Remember, Glacial Augment is usual go-to.
Tell me about Predator Qiyana.
Okay. Wow. Right? Just like that, huh? Yeah. So it's funny because you look at Challenger solo queue around the world and you see Predator on a lot of champions that just have the idea of roaming. Like I've seen like Fizz one tricks with just Predator because they do not care about the lane. Their entire goal is to get out of it. Qiyana, funny enough, a lot of the times finds ways of being able to take control of the lane based off of, brush element. So you can be in Viz. You don't get a lot of interaction, but take a look at this.
This is a level 2 gank from Karsa. Chris might have to flash here. The flag drag's there. Even with the heal, the Ignite's dropped down. He flashes late, and guess who matches it? Uzi with first blood to start off RNG.
Whenever RNG is put in a series deficit, they always come back to this old trick their masters EDG taught them, the level 2 red buff gank. This is why almost always you see Karsa starting on the red buff. On the blue side, he just has so many different variations.
He was just so close, too. Chris was looking at that thinking he didn't have to flash because the flag drag didn't think he would be able to nail him. It nailed him. Thought he would still be fine off the back end, and when the Ignite came through, realized the dangers there. Ended up dying in a preventable game.
And remember what happened last time Uzi picked up the kill in the lane in the 2v2. This time, though, it was even earlier at level 1. So he's gone back. He started to build up for the tier. And for Uzi, this is the great start you want to see when their back's against the wall.
Yeah, and just take a look at this. Well, I must make a point of the fact that he used Flash for that, so he's going to be a little bit more aware when Chris comes right back into the lane. Going back to the point about Doinb, because we're going to be focusing on mid for a little while longer. In fact, I think Tian also wants to go back to Doinb.
Bring a recovery effort here for FPX. Locked down with a Glacial Element. XiaoHu has the flash, but Doinb so darn low. The Ignite not going to tick him over in time as now for Tian wants to take the fight himself, but Karsa's joined the fray.
That was the support roaming from the bottom side. It wasn't the jungler in that situation. Gimgoon should win this sustained fight anyway here, but just looking at that, it was a really smart idea because they knew Qiyana had to gather a river element from somewhere. So they were already waiting, predicting that path to come in. It was only Tian's great cocoon that saved that from being a kill.
And we expected this from Game 1 from both of these teams. That it's going to be Ming, Chris, the supports that end up going towards the mid lane to have at least some help. Looking towards this, though, Gimgoon's getting the better of it.
Now remember, it's Conqueror in each top laner, but Tian coming in, that just makes it unfair.
All right. It's Cocoon time. Gimgoon doesn't have much HP.
He's baiting, but he does have the bar up for the shield. He can bait this in. Conqueror's going to give him the heal. It's the flash for flash. They react to each other. And it's solo kill time with Death Thrust just about available. Gimgoon will take the solo kill.
Now, to be fair, there's actually more gold if you let Tian get a bit of that, but he just wanted to make sure the message was clear. That wasn't a flash for flash at the start of it. Gimgoon actually just flashed earlier to avoid that Q3.
Langx made the right call to force that 1v1.
Yep.
It was just hilarious to see Gimgoon outplay that
with
the
alone.
Flash. Goodbye, Langx. I mean, Langx is trying his hardest.
Gimgoon used the teleport to get back into lane. That's going to be at least one bit of turret plating because Doinb roams to the top side and is forfeiting part of his lane.
Oh my god, that is multiple waves now. Just trying to be denied to Langx. They're just not leaving.
I do want to point out, though, Doinb may come to the top to give pressure to Gimgoon. But he has lost so much in this mid lane. He burned his summoners before, and he's down 20 CS.
Yep, Langx's in a bad position. I just wanted to follow up on the rune choices right there. But Karsa's probably not going to give me the time here. Gank incoming.
Gonna have to wait.
Clement,
yep, we're going to have to wait.
Because his EQ combo is what he really relies on here, but...
Once that's done, he's going in.
There we go.
All right, I'm back. Level 5 on Gimgoon, doesn't have the flash. EQ is dodged away from, but that's going to be Infernal Chains. He's dead. Okay, but the shield, I still say he's dead, ladies and gentlemen. Wait! Don't listen to me! That shield is bonkers.
Karsa with the Q sideways. Gimgoon will lose the massive wave and will pull Langx back into the game, but it really isn't as much as they could have gotten.
That's also just outright unfamiliarity going up against the Mordekaiser, where there was once upon a time where he just wasn't playable because of the bugs.
Yeah.
And so you see him on the pick, you are almost as confident, they are almost as confident as you were, that death was going to be coming through. And it was just an abnormal amount of shield that he was able to throw up there. Keeps himself alive. That's the goon for you.
This is a great early game. Throughout all and each and every game, I should say, in this series so far, it has been slow and steady, one play or another. But this is piling on top of each other, and we get a chance to see it again.
Up in your bottom left of the screen, you see the shields coming down right there, and even with the challenging smite burning down, he still stays alive. And sideways Q, he knows he's made a fool of himself and just backing away.
Feels
Does
bad.
the flash and shame.
Maybe I was right all along. But either way, surviving that lane, walking back, Gimgoon does have a lead, and XiaoHu again, by the way, for the POV that Raz explained before. I do want to bring us back to an important point, though. Before we talked about the action, XiaoHu and Doinb, this lane I mentioned is now double the CS for XiaoHu.
Yep, XiaoHu definitely is staying to his own lanes and punishing super hard. I do want to note that the phase rush was because when in this matchup we've seen him previously against Qiyana, he does go for the Zhonya's first. You don't get that much value out of the Glacial Augment, and phase rush just keeps you alive better against the AD assassin.
And also, I just love the mobility if you want to be able to get in the fight, so that's always a positive. And at the end of the day, this is just a good matchup for you. You shove consistently, you can harass under your E snare as well. There's a lot that you can do here, and also, it helps when Doinb is leaving the lane to roam up topside. So the windows for Doinb has actually been fairly slim, and he's been losing a lot because of it. So XiaoHu's been in the right.
Clement, I think we're getting multiple POVs. Can you explain to me, sir, why we have XiaoHu and LWX?
Well, they're probably on different channels. That's it.
Just so you know, a lot of the times we do have two POVs on Huya and Doyu. They're just because we have multiple games happening on regular season, so they're set for set 1 and set 2. So now that we just have one set best of 5, that's your answer.
Get the best of both worlds. But meanwhile, Predator was popped here by Doinb, who goes to the top lane. He's going to get the stun down with the World Ender, but Cocoon won't land. Langx getting forced out again, while Tian takes all the goodies in this top side.
It's also the blue buff going over. And we have to remember with these ganks, it doesn't matter if they don't get the kill. As long as they can deny the experience in CS, Langx is still going to have the same
XiaoHu was there though. Tangle Barbs are burning him down. He'll die, and Karsa finds a kill while Gimgoon in the death realm wants to take the 1v1, but Langx knows his team is there. Gimgoon comes out of the death realm while Doinb looks for the supreme display of talent, finds the double. Gimgoon will try and 1v2, but even under turret, with the 1v2 now turned back, this Mordekaiser will die.
This is an all-in from FPX to just take Langx out of the game. And it's getting real cheesy knowing that, you know, at the end of the day, Doinb is fully committing for it. Just disqualifying his wave, saying I don't need to look towards it. He actually lost an entire wave underneath his own tower for that. But he was all-inning on the advantage that Gimgoon had.
And the fight just started so suddenly. They didn't actually get to see Karsa earlier on. Tian gets eviscerated with that one rotation combo. And even across the wall, though, Doinb does equalize on the kills, and he even gets a double man stun with the ultimate here. They don't really they can't really turn the tides and have to leave Gimgoon here.
And if you look at the minimap, you're also just seeing the dual lane from RNG rotate. They were wondering how long the fight would end up going for, and they also just saw a chunky wave in the mid lane, just recognizing that they wouldn't even lose CS from making the rotation. It was smart from RNG, just preparing themselves for the worst.
But we've got a game where Uzi gets the kill in lane once again, but FPX are trying their hardest to mitigate it through mid and top side. Even they return back to bottom. Infernal's going to get picked up here to start the game off.
This game looks very ridiculous. It feels like FPX are the ones going for the gold funneling strategy this time around. They're willing to sacrifice a lot from Doinb just to get Gimgoon ahead. And to be fair, if he's ahead, he can actually shut down Uzi quite easily. If you go teleport, drag him into the Death Realm, that can equalize the parts of the map.
Yeah, FPX just annoys people a lot. And it's crazy because a lot of the time, the strategies that you would expect just wouldn't be relevant or even a positive works for them pretty easily. I remember in Rift Rivals, when they first debuted that pre-rework Pantheon, that it was Griffin, the team that was coming in with what was a pretty nice composition themselves, they got throttled by the Pan. But they didn't see it coming expected because it was Doinb constantly moving. And this kind of is pretty close to that. Doinb's not laning. And it's hard for XiaoHu to play around that.
I wonder where RNG just call this bluff and just take their bot lane towards the mid. There's not a lot of wave clear here and just hard force turret plating. Like, that would be a very good strategy against this since he's roaming on every wave.
He's got mobility boots with Predator. I mean, he's doing what I guess this Qiyana needs to do is LWX might be caught out here. RNG making the move, waiting for LWX to disappear. The Killer Instinct immediately used as Chris burns his own ultimate too.
Wave's not here, so they're not going to take turret plating at least for FPX. So, good defensive strategy there. They keep everything alive, and they're trading back again.
Yeah, kept LWX honest, and I thought he was going to die in that situation. So for LWX, he played it out as well as he could. He had to use both summoners, sure. Karsa will have that remembered and will be able to time that. So expect RNG to kind of look towards bullying LWX and Crisp a little bit more as the minutes to come.
But we've just swapped over.
Langx abdicates his lane. He's like, you know what? I've had enough of this. Actually just walks straight toward the mid lane to pick the waves up. And I think we're going to see a lot of this happen. LPL is the region that plays the most extreme when it comes to strong side, weak side.
Yeah, very well said. At the moment, we've got a side versus side turret push here as FPX are going to use the Rift Herald. We're getting the picture-in-picture, but I think Rift Herald pushes over the mark.
You really don't see other regions constantly stacking up their solo lanes in the same place just because they can't survive alone.
But here it is. I mean, it's on Crisp and LWX to keep themselves alive here. They recognize that LWX only has his own dash to get out of this.
Uzi will finally trade the turret across as well. While LWX and Chris clear out the wave, RNG back away while the Rift Herald attacks that inner on the top side. Actually, hello, it's gone. FPX with a big gold lead after that turret goes down, and Rift Herald, look at him.
Oh, no.
Or her.
Yeah, well, they didn't actually stop it on the full clear. Langsing didn't even want to touch that wave because he knew he would be the next target. So they actually lose so much on the top side. It's going to allow FPX a larger advantage of being able to push through top side, get vision control, where they honestly already have a great control ward in the top blue side jungle, and then try and chip through the outer turret mid.
I just want to tell everyone the end result of those trades was basically Langxing and Doinb were able to pick up farm and then be somewhat relevant in the game. They were pretty far behind before that, but with Langxing moving mid, Doinb moving top, they're now kind of equalized with their opponents.
I just like that a lot more for FPX. I think the advantage that FPX have just straight through their top side now, they're going to be essentially making Langxing irrelevant, and it put them in a position where they can now go for mid lane turret pretty easily. All you need is Mordekaiser to push out two waves up top side and then cut through the enemy jungle alongside Elise. So FPX can continue to ramp up the pressure. It's difficult for RNG to get any vision control top.
And whenever we see RNG solo lanes almost on the brink of irrelevance, what they do is they hard force team fights. They try to get them back through kills, through team play. They have a Cloud Drake coming up for that. However, if it doesn't work, they fall even further behind.
That Cloud you mentioned, a minute remaining until it spawns up. RNG vision towards the bottom side. Now, for those just tuning in, well, one, you've missed out a lot. Two,
welcome.
RNG's vision is the best in the league right now. So you can expect RNG to prioritize the control wards towards that dragon and really track FPX's movement.
Well, think of it this way. I think they're, in a lose-lose situation. Because clearing up topside is the right play because of what I've mentioned, but take a look at this.
That's an instant flash in. I don't think the Gragas really wanted to be there. Ming now caught out. That's a great Nautilus holding from Chris, but they'll jump. They'll turn the tides while Doinb is in the 1v1. He has no resources, so he's so damn weak. He turns with the Ignite. He's dodged away from the Blossom, but it was close. XiaoHu will find it while the Chaos continues in the top side. Uzi is in the Death Realm with Gimgoon. He flashes out, but Gimgoon follows him. And now for LWX, he just wants to chase up. That was explosive, and I'm not even sure who won.
A chaotic fight, but RNG takes more members down at the end of the day, just based off the pick on Tian, and of course the side pick on Doinb too.
And
that
so
was a clutch play from XiaoHu.
it did look like it was a 3v2 overall coming in from RNG's side. And most importantly, Langx does pick up a kill here. So that's what we really should be looking at. Langx has been able to get into the game. Really good perfect timing usage from everyone to kind of delay the death realm from going down and giving Gimgoon that 1v1 kill on these.
I just want to see how Doinb got picked, you know, off camera.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see it happen.
Decent
a lot of the
rush.
focus. Yes, I want to see it. Because at the end of the day, he was coming in on a flank much like XiaoHu, but XiaoHu got the jump on him. That would have meant the difference because I was setting that play up saying that FPX are in a good spot. That if RNG prioritizes vision up topside, it's FPX that can find the pick. Let's take a look at this, though.
This initial trade was surprising to me because it looked like a pure FPX win. They even get a triple man stun on the death charge, but Uzi with the killer instinct able to go into the back, trade that one out in the bot side. XiaoHu gets a superior trade, and Aatrox is here to mop up Chris, I believe. So yeah, overall it does come out to be just a 3v2 trade in favor of RNG.
So we saw this one. This one we had the context to. There we go.
Okay.
We finally get to see. Yep, he just ran straight in towards the Neeko because he was focused on the play itself. That's just a sad thing. We've seen this constantly for people who are on the side lane trying to rotate to the play. You just get that awkwardness when you just meet each other in the river itself.
If that supreme display of talent hit a wall, you feel like that would have been a kill in the end as well. Those are the small margins we're playing with, but of course, the resources XiaoHu received just by staying in lane felt to be the difference there as well. Zhonya's Hourglass now picked up. We should go across the board here because after that fight, after the kill, Langx finally has his first item as well.
Doinb looks to be pretty far behind the curve at this point. He's the only solo laner, only carry to not pick up a completed item. And I kind of worry for that. This is going into the teamfight phases for RNG, and with Qiyana kind of just not on the curve, she just becomes a CC bot.
I think we'll just see her on the side lane a little bit more often. Because the benefit here for FPX is that Doinb being on the side is going to pull either XiaoHu or Langx over, which just greatly weakens RNG's team fight. As long as you can do that, perfect. You give time for Doinb to get towards his next few items. Finally, he's able to pick up his Duskblade.
There you go.
And then suddenly, you know, you can start rotating to these fights a little bit more frequently and will have the damage based off the gold you were able to accrue. So starting to recoup the gold that he lost early on in the game with his rotations.
He's walking towards the bottom side. Should be some control wards to give him a bit of gold in the back pocket and the bottom wave to pick up. But I was just looking at Gimgoon there, who was waiting at a brush, waiting for Langx once again. Bullying the top laners here in this series seems to be on par with the story.
An RNG tradition.
Yeah.
Or an anti-RNG tradition, I should say.
That's fair. I mean, Gimgoon got bullied last game. He came back. It's good to see our top laners holding strong. Langx has found his way back into this game already. And we're now waiting for that next dragon, the Baron, to spawn. As you guys mentioning, I know you're breaking down the fights.
Yeah, and I'm just going to look towards the RNG carries and say that both XiaoHu and Uzi are doing well just based off the CS margins alone.
Yep.
Like 30 CS advantage that's now there for XiaoHu. For Uzi, it's pretty significant as well. I just love the position they're in and they're being catered to and allowed to thrive. The only person that needs to watch his back is this man right here. Langx needs to be aware of the pressure Gimgoon has. He'll be able to get the team fights first too.
Looking for the engage in the mid lane. Now for FPX, look at where their vision is. Quite blind apart from that side brush. Very dangerous to be sticking near that Gragas. Might be a support, but Ming still has ulti available. Meanwhile, FPX play around Gimgoon in that top lane. That's the second blue buff in a row Tian has stole.
Remember, vision control is there pretty strong for FPX, so we can see a mirrored play like the last one, except just a stronger team fight from FPX.
Okay.
Doinb is not going to get caught off twice like that in a row, so that's the state of the game here for RNG.
And I think with Gragas, this has historically been one of their best champions in starting initiations. I really want to see them be the ones press the initiation forward. I feel like FPX, they have a lot of members that are pretty easy to pick off, honestly. The Elise or the Qiyana, you know, not great when taking that initial hard crowd control. So I do expect RNG to be the ones to play up with FPX's river control and just try to find a pick off of that.
We've gone to a lull state, gentlemen. We're at that 19-minute mark. And when you're in a game like this for RNG, I mean, their fans would feel quietly confident. You have Uzi back on Kaisa, XiaoHu on a team fight mid laner. This is the RNG composition that I said in Champions League feels like an RNG comp, feels like it's their identity that we've talked about before the series itself.
Yeah, it's just so hard for them to get to that point. And I think that's the beauty of FPX here. teams like FPX and top esports, like the new blood in the LPL, really challenge you early on, and so you start to take a focus, like a microscope, towards players like XiaoHu, Langx individually to see if they can hold up within the laning phase. It was introduced by Invictus Gaming in 2018 when they brought in Jackulov, and the Shy was just a monster.
Yeah. And
teams started to really heavily focus on early game skirmish, heavily focus on, just having damn talented players. RNG is now going to be able to get to that state, but it's not going to be easy, as I had mentioned.
Because if we look at both RNG and FPX, I think, hang on, we're not at that point yet. It's going to be repel up from Tian as another fight comes through. That reaches somehow. Chris locks on down. The Cataclysm saves the day. Is that, wow, supreme display of talent, just went a mile.
That was really good walking from Uzi. He pops a heal, walks sideways just to make sure that Karsa is not going to take the death charge and die.
The fact that Karsa was able to survive that, though, is crazy.
Yeah.
And still be able to hold on to this mid lane turret, because that was a great pick by Crisp. At least they get control now for this dragon, because they're going to be the ones stacking these. Okay, at least they're going to be taking the double cloud from RNG.
Yep.
Going to have that in token themselves.
But what's next? It's the most important question. We got triple cloud on the market.
Okay.
We've had very good dragons this series, so having the cloud now, I would have said last game would have been better.
Supreme display of speed would be what I call for the Qiyana right now. She's coming in with Predator and that triple cloud. So even though she probably can't win the side lane 1v1 against guys like Langx, Doinb can still arrive at the fights a lot faster.
Yeah, it reminds me of talking about the style that Doinb has. A lot of the times his Pantheon, his Rise is with the expressed idea of moving around the map and making it so they have numbers advantage. And in 2017, a lot of the times he would come out with these talent picks too to do the exact same thing. And so this is pretty much on brand for Doinb. It's just going to be on RNG to recognize that and play discipline.
Mid lane turret's going to be theirs for now. That's the outer finally going down, opening up the map. And towards the Baron, when there's so much pressure around it, for RNG, they should be able to push it.
The way RNG played that was pretty smart. They had a lot of pressure around the Raptor wall from Karsa just potentially coming in. And also Ming was there with the Gragas initiation as well. So FPX felt definitely threatened and also cut off at the same time. They do have to give that one up. And now it's RNG's turn to defend.
I was going to ask, is it safe to push this with the Gragas in hand? Well, if you get Ming, maybe it is. That explosive cast to disengage. Key ultimate down.
They just knew they had the window there. With Aatrox down bot side, sure he had the ability to teleport, but just a great pick there. You start to look at FPX's composition and say, yeah, sure, they had the Nautilus. They have the Cocoon there for Elise. And when Gimgoon joins in on fights, that pullback is pretty crucial. FPX can just start a fight when you least expect it.
Everyone has CC except for the Lucian, so it's a dangerous comp to be sure, and a comp that now is heading towards 2 items across the board, that is now setting up those side lanes as we see Doinb gets a shove topside, Gimgoon moves back bot.
Couple of key buys here. We see the QSS coming from Uzi. Can take him out of the Death Realm, which is a, I believe it's a submission. No, subjugation or something.
Submission.
No, I'm just trying to call it the crowd control by its official name.
Watching too much WWE, Clement.
They did come around.
That they did. That's a great cocoon though, Tian. Whoa! Ming is dead. Teleport's going to come through. Karsa trying to buy time. This has evolved as LWX going to burn his heal. Karsa's not tanky enough. That's a killer instinct from Uzi, but Chris burns the flash. The ultimate comes through from Qiyana, and Aatrox is chasing this up. RNG may have found the fight, but Doinb goes into stealth mode, and it will just be the one for now.
That was an absolute replay of the last time around when Doinb got caught. He was a part of the fight this time around. They had found the pick on the Ming. No other fragile casualties. That was just outright better from FPX.
That was really well played from Chris. Instant flash over the wall. He knows he wants that man dead, and they have the numbers advantage. No hesitation whatsoever.
That was without Gimgoon as well, remember. So playing from a man down, getting the pick from FPX is still a bit of gold. But with the summoners gone, there'll be ones to watch.
That's why fighting for vision, there's an emphasis on fight.
Yes.
Ming is here trying to at least get some wards down, or have that vision control there. And it doesn't matter how close your team members are. If you get picked by one thing, be it the Cocoon or the Q from Nautilus, there is always going to be a follow-up. Great Cocoon coming through, the ability to just get out of there for free. It was a lot of work. They had to blow some summoners. but finally able to get out of there and find that pick on a Ming.
Langx has become a bit of a monster as well. That's my takeaway from the play. Burns Flash, but with the World Ender and those 2 items, I now see an Aatrox that's a very real threat to FPX.
That was only threatening because Gimgoon was not there, didn't have teleport,
True.
was bot side making the rotation. If Gimgoon's a part of the process, that's actually 10 times harder there for RNG. They have to be the one running, so Gimgoon's recognized that. He doesn't have teleport just yet. That's why FPX don't want to go for any fights here. They're just going to let their control ward die.
Walking out with home guard, that's going to be now the Baron set up here by RNG.
I've got to say, FPX is actually relatively safe coming into the Baron pit late. With the Qiyana ultimate, everyone in the pit's going to get stunned down. That thing has a massive radius when along the wall sides here. So they can play somewhat more passive when it comes to these vision contests. They can be pushing a little bit as long as they hold on to the Raptor line. RNG should not have an easy take.
Okay, the vision battle continues here. Doinb catches a wave, and I love that it's come down to this, that the match point, series point, championship point for FPX teeters on a Baron play that could go wrong, or maybe a pick that they could find onto RNG.
And this is when both teams start to just chill out for a little bit.
Just cool it, yeah.
Specifically FPX, knowing that LWX is so close.
Oh, I think we're all on this time. LWX is burning and he's dead. That was instantaneous as Tian misses the cocoon. FPX are now down a man.
My brother just wants an Infinity Edge. And they just got him. Wave's going to be coming up soon, too. FPX have to concede this turret.
Doinb's there for the flank, but there's so much vision from RNG. His pathways are limited. Gimgoon backs away, FPX back away. Inner turret goes down, and RNG takes some of the gold.
Just see how much the game can change based off one pick. With Baron buff up 2, you have to be a little bit more scared for FPX.
Like this, there's no vision around the corner, but Karsa will be spotted out. Okay, RNG will back away after clearing the wave.
Such a foxy initiation. Actually, they were prepared to come in from 3 sides on that one just to get another pick off. But with how RNG played the initial fight, just going for the towers, you can see that they still have a lot of respect for Doinb. They have a lot of respect for Gimgoon. If Gimgoon takes your jungler into the death realm, there's not much you can do to secure the Baron. So 4v5 is not that safe.
I also want to point out there is a, not Nash's Tooth, there is a Stinger in the inventory of the Mordekaiser, gentlemen.
All right. I love to see that.
The on-hit really hurts.
Nash's Tooth.
But I'm surprised to see you go that before Rylai's, because it's kind of hard to catch up to people.
Well, we'll see, because he's got a Seeker's Armor Guard in his inventory, so Tian doesn't want to get caught out here. XiaoHu is on the hunt. As RNG once again do what RNG been doing all series. Push out, take camp, take vision, and now force this objective, or FPX to at least walk near it.
And for me, I love the fact that we got a snapshot of the bottom lane for Gimgoon, who's getting that shove off. Because his primary focus is just to put the wave in a good position. Langx is not going to touch him. He needs to be able to speed up the process of the shove. It's going to be why the Stinger is going to be helpful for him to get even closer towards the Nash's Tooth as well. The CDR is pretty damn nice too. A champion that is so, I guess, it's so crucial to have your cooldowns ready for these fights. Multiple rotations in a team fight is going to be nice to have. And he's been sending Uzi into the death realm a lot of the time.
Yep.
And so as long as he's able to get that 1E.
Hey, that's an Uzi ult if I've ever seen one. Straight to LWX. Ming's here as well. Explosive Cast sends him outward though. Ult down for Uzi, but RNG trying to force this even more.
That was a 2,000 range catch happening there for FPX. They're not safe without their mid lane towers, and RNG with these plays are continuing to show them that, hey, keep yourself on your toes. You have to play us 5v5. You have to play us close.
They get an advantage if they start Baron immediately. That's why they were looking for a pick, just to see if FPX is willing to fight for the pressure around Baron.
They're not.
But very smart from FPX here.
Yeah, I like FPX's response. They do pull their side lanes instantly, but at least they secured the pushing waves already.
But XiaoHu can't get caught out rotating here. That's the flash with the ice element, the ultimate Qiyana. But the pop blossom to come down. FPX might be in a bit of trouble, but XiaoHu dying at least. Now they have to find their way out, but RNG don't want to find the follow-up. XiaoHu got caught out.
That was such a crucial fight there. Able to catch XiaoHu in rotation. Doinb chases him down. These are long death timers starting to come up now.
Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate. XiaoHu thought just because Karsa was able to pass through the ramp that there was no one there. But FPX definitely had different ideas on that one.
And we get to see the movement speed, the momentum on the Qiyana when she has those mobility boots, the yo moves, and the double cloud at work. Doinb can beat to a play just like that.
Teamfight AD Assassin Qiyana at work here. You can see XiaoHu, he thought Karsa went through. I should be safe here. Not to be. Gets caught out by both stuns.
I mean, they even had the controller prime. They just didn't expect FPX to be moving to the left side of the map just like that. So, unfortunately, that was the case. They caught him out. He doesn't have sums anymore. Pretty big knowing that they're jockeying position for Baron buff.
All right. Mr. Clement Chu, there's another Infernal coming up. That Baron is even hotter of a topic. FPX are split between rivers, waiting to find someone else.
I think it's going to come down to mid lane priority here. FPX, the best way you can fork someone is just to make sure they need to stay close to mid, and this is exactly what they're doing. They're going to clear this part out, and it's going to come down to RNG, who have to somewhat face check this.
Kaisa helps definitely with the Void Seeker. Spots out Tian, who's just on the roam.
Feels like right now, Doinb is just looking to knife someone. Just gonna put that out there.
You know who's gonna get knifed?
Yeah.
Gimgoon.
Yeah.
Found himself an Aatrox. Protobelt used. He gets pulled back. But what are RNG gonna do while this goes on? Because this could take a while.
Yeah, they recognize. That's why Doinb's actually just leaving the play as it is. Oh, but they're gonna have to move quickly.
Now, Baron, there's no mountain this time on RNG. Tian is over the wall. This is too dangerous.
But I love the awareness here. The fact that Doinb recognized that RNG were starting to move to the left side of the map, they didn't have the wards necessary to even catch them on Baron, so it was like, I'm dropping this play. I don't want to risk Baron buff just for a kill on the Langx.
They did have a double TP potential there, but it was a kill that they had to get relatively quickly in that situation. So they back off for now. And I like the respect from RNG as well. They're very aware of what Mordekaiser and Qiyana can do in the Drake pit for you. Just the amount of AoE damage from the Mordekaiser is disgusting when you're caught with him.
Yeah, we'll have to see, but in this position, I mean, if Gimgoon comes out with the kill on that one, of course, he TPs, easily can defend it. I think that's the risk that we're talking about.
Yep.
Doinb just has to have that long run. And so, doesn't want to be too long in that map, so that's why they have him. Or at least Gimgoon dealing with Langx, but here we go.
Started again. Tian's going to be over the wall, but they need vision in the pit itself. RNG threatened, but getting spotted out. It looks like they back away again.
You just have to respect RNG's Baron take with the Kaisa that they have here. So smart on FPX to always be in position, and then challenge with this.
That's Crisp again, finding the ultimate in the backline. XiaoHu goes gold, but gets pulled in. This is LWX territory, though. Look at the 3-item Lucian running around. Gimgoon into Death Realm. Is this the fight for FPX to hold true? RNG are backing away. They got slaughtered, and Langx just has to watch as he burns.
Look how quickly Karsa and Ming got obliterated. At least Uzi was able to QSS out of that one and get on out. But that's just really daunting to look at.
And FPX will hit this Baron uncontested, one step away from securing their LPL championship.
It's going to be so damn close right now. They're already 4K ahead with the pushing lane in Gimgoon. Doinb can start to be the 1-3-1 as well. So FPX, they have multiple ways to just close out this game, plus a nice Infernal Drake to buff themselves.
I want to see how it all starts off on that one, because Crisp was the one who was able to get in the initial queue, and Gimgoon got in on the play really quickly too. Take a look at this. Infernal Dragon's honestly not even going to be contested. RNG are coming onto the map way too late.
Double Infernal, but we go back to this fight and we see our Nash's Tooth Mordekaiser coming after.
Wow.
And this was just a better catch coming in from Chris. Trading the support for a mid laner in that position is always going to be beneficial. They do take a while, but a great lockdown onto the backside from Karsa takes away most of the supporting cast.
Uzi was taken out of this fight so early on too. The ultimate that Nautilus had a double knockup because he knew that there were just too many people in the way for, in the way of Uzi. So great effectiveness there, and we'll have to see how the fights end up going over, because that was just a quick and easy pick on towards XiaoHu.
QSS is now back and available for Uzi. He had to use it for the Death Realm that Gimgoon launched at him. I know I mentioned it before, but now 4 items on the Mordekaiser, who's just running it down mid with the rest of FPX.
There's not a lot of range on RNG to actually defend this one, so I think they're going to have to give this one up. Anybody getting caught by the Death Grasp is very close into kill territory.
And we just start listening. You're right. You're right. Death Grasp is one thing. The Nautilus Q, which XiaoHu ate the last time, is another. I mean, we've talked about how many points of CC FPX have, and for a good portion of the game, the vision control is theirs. it's just hard for RNG to play around their side lanes when they always have to take the long way around to join their team.
Because just like that, FPX can pop themselves into a brush. Doinb doing exactly that towards the bottom side. Tian zoning out with Crisp. And for RNG, I again say to you all, look for the miracle fight. Look for the engage from Karsa and Ming.
This feels like that last-ditch gambit now from RNG. They want to find that one team fight that can pull them back into this one, recognizing just how crucial this game is. They lose that one fight, it's over.
I think it's going to come down to Ming coming with the Flash Gragas explosive cast. They still have to wait for that summoner, of course. But that is typically how we've seen RNG compositions dig themselves out of these holes. The Gragas is so important for them.
Good cocoon onto the Gragas himself. Remember as well, Uzi is very fed. So if he survives the fight, then it's bad news for FPX.
Simon was talking about the Qiyana on a side lane. RNG needs to deal with that. It's just real tough, though. Closer you get towards the base, just look at the terrain that's available for Doinb now. It's just easy to start a fight if they want to dive on mid lane.
You do miss out on the river, but a lot more stuns when you come in, especially on the side lane inhibitor takes.
Cullen going to come out here as well, forcing the mid lane even back. FPX, 3 members still here. The Death Thrust searching for people, but look at the top wave. Slowly pushing against RNG. Baron's going to expire in 10 seconds as well, gentlemen, so I think we're going to reset for now. 8k gold lead picked up. If my eyes do not mistake me, in fact, 6 would be the mathematical way to say.
There we go. I mean, FPX just need to work with their mid and bot lane wave. And the fact that the top lane wave is closer to RNG's side of the base, they're not even concerned about that until FPX sends a member up top side. So thankfully, RNG is going to be able to give the wave over to Langx. But yeah, I mean, it's just about prolonging the game. As long as they can get Infinity Edge on Uzi, then they can play around that teamfight playstyle. But they're just getting picked off constantly. And I think that's really frustrating for them, especially in this part of the set where mentality is such a big part, and this game is slowly getting out of your grasp.
I felt like RNG never found an initiation that they wanted. They had the comp for it, they were in position, but it was always FPX actually starting the fight. It was Crisp finding Ming 2 times, finding XiaoHu again in open terrain, where RNG actually had to move across to kind of cover the distance and get that fight going. So I think FPX is just always getting the drop on these things, and a lot of it because of Gimgoon's pressure on that side lane.
Yeah, and a lot of people will look at Ming's performance this game, easily say that this is his worst Gragas performance, but honestly, the confidence that he had in a lot of the situations where he was clearing out vision, he had a Kaisa to his right, a J4 to his left, just didn't expect how quickly he would get bursted.
Yeah.
That's what's literally the point. The fact that he was getting destroyed immediately made it so FPX can continue to play through this like pick potential that they've been had with the composition.
Crisp on that Nautilus is a nuisance to deal with. I love that we're talking about FPX's picks because they've been constantly coming through here in this 4th game. RNG trying to find their own heroes. Onto Crisp launches Karsa, but they're playing super safe.
I don't know about that one. Yeah, at least they see Doinb now.
Yeah, but this is what you all came here to see from RNG game. Uzi on full items.
Yeah, there it is.
RNG overall behind in the matchup, and somehow a miracle teamfight appears. This is what RNG stories are written of, but can they pull it off and extend the series is the question.
Yeah, what I'll tell the RNG fans is don't look at the final chapter.
All right, well, it could come down to this. Doinb there with a 2-man ultimate. Slows down Ming, the flash from Karsa, too late. It's too late. It goes down, and now with Elder, Chris looks for the engage, and Uzi, oh my. His tippy toe just got out of the way.
But the damage has been done. FPX got Elder Dragon with the 4 Dragon pickups that they had, and just take a look at the map, because the timing is so in favor of FPX. Baron buff is now online.
Launching down the mid lane, RNG baiting here, but can they find the all-in engage?
All right.
RNG are thinking about potential Baron sneak into base defense, but FPX are calling them out on that. Really good map movement to deny that possibility.
Yeah, you just move Gimgoon forward as, the main base check.
You can make it a 1v1 anytime.
Yeah, 100%. So I just love this from FPX. It's calm, it's focused, especially in what is a game set match environment. FPX are primed to look for this series win. And, of course, I'll say, yeah, easily first LPL championship for FPX as an organization, but more importantly, first championship for Doinb, a player who's been around for so long. Gimgoon, same as well, has been in the LPL for such a long time. To be able to see the new wave of players in the LPL being able to win that big chip is inspirational.
They've shown themselves large as FPX begin the Baron. This is going to be gone before RNG get there. Oh. Another win condition locked down. FPX are taking it all.
They have effectively triple Infernal Drakes on this one, and good items. Like, they've already made up the item difference in most of their lanes, especially the bot lane, which was slightly behind. So they're in a perfect position to just push and end this on the Elder Drake. They still have 50 seconds on this one, so they actually have a very strong window here with double major objectives.
Yeah, I mean, it's just bridged them so well too, because if we're just looking at a team fight playstyle right now, FPX, to your point, they have that substantial lead nearing 10k gold. So they don't even need the Elder Dragon. Once it wears off, just focus towards the Baron buff, working out so well for you. It's RNG that needs to respect this huge wave now piling up on this top lane turret.
Baron again. Baron number 2 of this game. Hard to deal with as Langx is holding off Gimgoon in the mid lane. Half health on both of these inhibitor turrets.
And we already see Karsa being half health. He has to go back. No defense there. They're giving up the top inhibitor for sure.
I mean, they're going to lose both inhibitor turrets just like that.
Just like that. You just slam Karsa, send him back to base, and have the numbers advantage. There was not much of a fight there to get LWX off your inhibitor.
I know this is one step away. FPX take us to near 10k gold lead. Now that middle turret may stay up for now, but Gimgoon's not going to stop pushing. And FPX, they've got a bottom wave to hit as well.
Let the cannon minion do its work. Just like that, it's gone now. And now the focus is being able to take this inhibitor so easy. RNG have to commit to a fight if they are going to be pushing FPX off of it.
It's one engage for a championship. It's one engage to get his first ever title. This is the fight. Karsa jumps in to his death, it looks like, as XiaoHu gets pulled into the death realm. Look at the backline. Langx burnt down by the Elise. That's 1. That's 2. XiaoHu comes through.
Wow.
Sandwiches smacks them down. But FPX are still so healthy. That'll be all she wrote with a quadra kill to LWX.
Last-ditch effort for RNG, and they're gone. FPX are about to do it.
They're going to smack down RNG, defy expectations, and that man on your screen gets his first ever championship, and that'll be the 2019 Summer LPL title to FunPlus Phoenix.